Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here representing the Youth Advisory Council. The Youth Advisory Council, we give our perspective and advice on the new Children's Hospital. So your patients that came from the three Children's Hospital who came together to give our perspective on the new hospital. So issues that were raised in our meetings were the services, just like everything done on the one day. The appointments, not travelling to up and back, start of the month, the end of the month, everything to be done on the one day. To have the three hospitals together, from going from the Children's Hospital to the Adults Hospital is a huge transition. So to have going from the Children's Hospital to the Adults Hospital, it is a great idea that they all are going to be on the one site. So if the doctors can work together and have notes, so when they go into the Adults Hospital, they're not repeating their story again. They already know from the Children's Hospital because they had been working with their doctors that treated them in the Children's Hospital. We were very happy to hear that all the facilities are going ahead like what we asked for. The single bed rooms, the en-suites, privacy. Privacy was a big thing with us. Many of us spent days, weeks, months in hospitals, sharing bedrooms with babies, maybe when watching Peppa Pig on the television and we're stuffed in the corner there trying to keep them happy when you're just as sick. So privacy was a big thing. Just to have your own room, ensuite, like an ensuite, like might be too much to ask for, but it's the little things really. Like just to have your own privacy, be able to go to the bathroom. Like, you might not be even able to go out to the bathroom, like, and you can't be bringing in a commode with a baby beside you in the room. It's just the little things like that. So we were happy to hear that all those plans are going ahead. Another issue that was raised at our meetings was the parking. When you come up to the hospital, if you're coming up with a temperature and if you're worrying about coming up getting your child into the hospital, you're worrying about them more so than parking. So if you come up to the hospital and see no parking outside the hospital, what are you supposed to do? Like, your child has to be treated as quick as possible. So that means that you'll be driving around the hospital maybe for half an hour trying to find parking when you're supposed to be in the hospital. I was lucky enough when at the start of my treatment, one day I was looking for parking, the same situation, no parking outside the hospital, circles around the hospital, then drove into the estate. We parked up outside one of the houses, but we weren't sure if we were blocking them or not. So my mum went in and asked and said, is it okay if we park our car here? And she said, well, actually, I've builders coming in later on, but you can park there, or you can park down the road. Sorry about that. So we went into the hospital. Then I was sitting up in the bed, and I saw my mum and myself saw this familiar face coming in, and it was the lady that we knocked at her door, and she came in and said, the builder's cancelled. I'll stay with your child. You go down and move your car and bring it into my garden. So this was just any woman, didn't know us, came into the hospital, came looking for us and found us, and then told my mum to go get the car and park it in her car. So the last 4 years we've been parking in her house. So it's just the little things really that make a huge difference. So just parking, like the new hospital, you don't want to go up and see no parking. Like, this hospital is going to be the perfect hospital. We want it to be perfect. This is going to be the national hospital. This is going to be the hospital for the kids of Ireland. So to hear that there is going to be 1,000 car parking spaces, we are delighted to hear that, and that other families will not experience what we experience with no parking. So we're delighted to hear that. Also, the location at St. James's Hospital, we think that's a great idea, as it can be a tri-location, which maternity hospital, adults hospital and children's hospital. So if a mother went in and she was pregnant and had her baby, but the baby needed medical surgery urgently, she could be brought over to the children's hospital and she could be treated then in the adults hospital. So I think that's a great idea that that the children's hospital is going to be on the St. James's site. I think it's a great idea because the babies can be close to their parents, like when to make it easier, and not that the children are down in Crumlin and the parent is up in the Coombe, just to have them all in the one place. Then the comfort, just we most of us are teenagers aging from 12 to 18, so we've been sharing rooms with babies, no privacy, as I said earlier, but just the ward is all designed around babies. There's play areas, just Peppa Pig on the television. Like, the ward is there for children up to the age of 18. So we want to make it as comfortable and have it as home to home, in the hospital. So to have Wi-Fi in the hospital, but not just Wi-Fi, social Wi-Fi, so you can connect to Facebook or the internet and can stay in contact with your friends, even though you are in hospital maybe for 2 weeks and you mightn't get out to them. So at least you can still stay in contact. The teen den, just somewhere to hang out. If your friends came up to say hello, just somewhere you can go, so you're not stuck in a room talking when your parents are there talking. You might want them to hear about things. But anyway, and the accommodation for parents also, getting back to the single rooms. Single rooms, accommodation for parents. Yeah, that's really it that we've discussed. Garmila Mahagwiv, and that's all.
Thank you very much.